The exhausted man had just lain down when a gigantic crocodile suddenly appeared, right beside him. The distance between them was less than half a meter. If the crocodile attacked, the man would be dead for sure. Fortunately, the crocodile was already full and not hungry, allowing the man to narrowly escape death. When he saw the crocodile crawl back toward the river, the man quickly got up and fled. What he didn't know was that the island was home to something even more terrifying than crocodiles, a half-human, half-fish creature waiting for him. Brothers, today we're taking a look at a 2024 island survival horror film, Island Hunt. The movie uses a jungle setting to create a tense and frightening atmosphere, while also adding monster elements. It received a total of 4 nominations at the Tokyo and Singapore International Film Festivals. The story begins during World War II. The Japanese army planned to transport Allied prisoners of war back to their homeland, but the ships used for transport were in extremely poor condition. The death rate of the prisoners was as high as 35%, which is why these vessels were known as hell ships. During the voyage, one such hell ship was attacked by Allied artillery and sank into the sea. The next day, a survivor named Fujigang woke up to find himself stranded on an island. Heavy iron shackles were locked around his ankle, and the other end of the chain was attached to a British soldier. When Fujigang cautiously pushed the soldier and saw no response, he assumed the man had drowned. Just as he was about to use his pistol to shoot the chain apart, Mark suddenly woke up. As enemies, the two immediately began fighting, trading brutal blows and trying to kill each other. Neither of them noticed a creature watching from behind the rocks in the sea. Their fight quickly moved from the shore into the water. The smell of blood from their wounds acted like poison, drawing the monster closer. Just as Mark was strangling Fujigang, the creature burst out of the water and attacked Mark, trying to drag him into the sea. However, the chain binding him to Fujigang stopped it, indirectly saving Mark's life. Now the two were bound together in life and death. If Mark was dragged under, Fujigang would be pulled in as well. Seizing an opportunity, Fujigang decisively raised his gun and aimed at the monster in the water. But the creature was far too fast and he missed. The gunshot scared the monster away for the moment, and Fujigang retreated, helping Mark back onto the shore. As for why the two men were chained together, let's keep watching to find out. The story of the two men stranded on the deserted island continues. They finally realized that their greatest enemy was not each other, but the elusive creature lurking in the shadows. If they continued fighting among themselves, the two of them would likely end up as food for the monster. While Mark was still thinking about how to survive, Tengaoka suddenly raised the rifle and pointed it at himself. Perhaps he felt there was no escape from this place. Or perhaps the shackles on his leg were a humiliation he could not bear. Just as he was about to pull the trigger, muttering, "I'm fucking crazy!" Mark rushed forward and snatched the weapon away. There was only one bullet left in the gun. They had no idea when the sea monster would appear again. They had to be prepared. Mark encouraged Tengaoka not to give up, and to think about his family. Nothing was more important than staying alive. To prevent Tengaoka from attempting suicide again, Mark separated the gun and the bullet. He gave the bullet to Tengaoka while keeping the empty gun himself. That way, the weapon could only be used if both of them were together. This not only stopped Tengaoka from doing something foolish, but also increased their trust and dependence on each other. Neither of them could do it alone. Perhaps moved by Mark's words, Tengaoka slowly pulled himself together. The most urgent task now was to find food if they wanted to survive. They turned their attention to the crates that had washed ashore. After searching through them, they found nothing useful except for an iron ring. Most of the supplies had been ruined by seawater. Fortunately, they were near the shore. Although they hadn't found any food supplies, they could catch some seafood to fill their stomachs. After spending half a day together, their relationship eased considerably. They were no longer as tense and distant as they had been during the day. Mark suddenly asked Fujioka why. As a member of the Japanese army, he had been chained together with a prisoner like him by his own superior.